I mean, Dave's a little bit bigger than me, but you know, you guys get in here, you make a move and lock the crotch, you can lift the guy. And then throw the guy. And then once I'm here, I'm gonna sprawl and come behind. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with lifting the guy up and then chucking him, tossing him.
Thank you.
Come on in. Get a red shirt on. Go to black. Come on over. Okay. A little closer, Eric. Remember, like, we want to be nice and close. Closer. There we go. How's it going, guys? Teach Me Grappling. I'm back. I've got Dave Weber here. This beast right here just laid on top of me and beat the hell out of me for 10 minutes. Anyway, I'd love to show you guys a technique called a crotch lift today. So we're going to do a crotch lift. Crotch lift. Everybody makes fun of that word. They're like, they heard the word crotch, and then they giggle like, you know, like what's that? That cartoon that we grew up with on MTV. Darn, what is it? The guy with the...
Ren and Stimpy?
Not Ren and Stimpy. Beavis and Butthead. They start laughing like Beavis and Butthead. He said crotch lift. Wrestlers always like to grab you in the crotch. Guys, the crotch lift is something you need to know. It's very effective. You don't use it in jiu-jitsu that much, sometimes, but you can use it more. If you guys pay attention and you learn this technique, you can definitely work it into your game if you guys are jiu-jitsu guys. And if you're already a wrestler, you kind of know this stuff if you've wrestled some freestyle. There's 3 styles that we practice in the United States for the most part. Obviously, there's more than that, but the main styles we do in wrestling are folk style in America, in high school and college, and we also do it in the youth. And then you have freestyle and you have Greco-Roman. In the sport of freestyle, you see a lot of crotch lifts because we use them to throw the guy to his back and expose his back to the mat. In folk style, you see it rarely. You do see it. Usually it's to get an angle. Guys will lock in the crotch and they'll cut an angle to get to a guy's back. So there's lots of good reasons to lock in the crotch. And in jiu-jitsu, you tend to just see the guard position, and you don't see guys reaching up to latch onto a crotch. So I'm going to show you guys first. This is the first video for the crotch lift or locking in the crotch. And I'm just going to show you guys a real simple takedown defense. Very easy to do. Okay, so watch this. He's going to do a high crotch on my right leg with his right hand. So he comes in, boom. He takes the high crotch position. Now, go ahead and come over here. So what I want to do is sprawl. I don't want to give him my leg. So I'm trying to put my leg back. Okay, as I'm leaning on him. Notice how I took an angle. Okay, I don't want to have this angle. Here, he's going to push and he's going to take me down. Okay, he can go behind me. He can explode and lift me up in the air. So I want to take the angle away from him. So I'm going to start to sprawl sideways and step here to the side at this angle. Okay, so come on over here a little bit, Eric. Okay, so now notice I'm at an angle. This is putting a little bit of stress on him. And now I can try to bury the head. As I get to here, I see that, no, you want to stay over here. I see the crotch right here. This is what I want to lock. Okay, so I'm going to reach down. And I'm going to try to lock around his crotch. Now, when I lock, I don't lock around the leg. Okay, like this. I want to lock around the crotch. Okay, so my lock is here. You can lock with a palm to palm, an S grip. You can even just grab your wrist. It doesn't really matter. Okay, anything will do. I'll go ahead and pan away and get over here. So now as I lock, I'm going to pivot this leg like this. As I rotate for the easy version, I'm just going to fall to my right butt cheek. As I do this, I'm falling, rolling him over towards his back. You guys see that? As I continue to rotate him through, okay, I'm going to roll with him and come right up on top. So he might still have my leg when I'm finished, but he won't have my leg as good as he had it before. So once we end up here, we're going to get up, and now look where I am. His head is buried. He has my leg, but I can go over here now, grab the ankle, for example, and yeah, you don't have to get that close, you're good. Okay, then I pulse on the head, and then I sprawl. okay? And then now I can get behind him and I countered him, okay? So again, he takes the high crotch. I'm gonna make an angle, okay? Lock his crotch, sit down towards my right butt cheek, roll the guy over. As I roll the guy over, I'm sprawling. Look at his bad position now. It's hard for him to pull my leg in. I can bury his head. I can pull up on the butt or grab onto the ankle and then break his grip. And then now I have his back. We're at least top turtle position. So now I'll show you guys what it kind of looks like a little bit quicker. I'm just gonna kind of roll right into it. The guy takes the shot. Okay, I'm burying the head. And I spin behind. So what you notice, what I did when it was a little quicker, it was more dynamic. I took the leg and I threw him, I launched him. So when you do that, you really put him in a bad spot. And I want to talk a little bit about these angles and these positions. So when he goes for this leg, it's very important that when I get to here, things I would like to take this shoulder and slip it and move his shoulder to here, okay? If the shoulder's in tighter, it's harder to do this move. I can still do it in a square head-on position like this. I could, in theory, and flip him over. But remember, at this angle, it's kind of dangerous. If he releases my leg and he just sits up, he might end up on top of me like this. Now, I could pop out, okay? I could pop out and try to hit the ghost, for example, but just as easy, he might just hip heist right now in the north-south, and he's got me. So when you flip the guy, it's important that you rotate and don't lay on your back. We're not throwing the guy over and laying flat on our back. We're always trying to get off our back. So this is kind of like, just like in a wrestling sense. See, in the sport of wrestling, you're taught never go to your back. So when we do throws, like in freestyle, we do expose our back to the mat, but we're always bridging and arching and rotating our hips, hip heisting, flipping back over so we can get back on top of our opponent. We don't want to be lazy. So even if I was in the head-on position, he goes here, and let's say I went for the crotch lift here, and I was able to flip him. It's important that I get up right away, so that if I was here and he started to sit up, we want to get up so we can try to win in the top position. We don't want to sit there, lay on our back as we flip the guy over, and the guy goes with the flow. If he goes with the flow, ends up on top of you, you made a mistake. And now, the other thing about this crotch lift, the biggest problem most people have is they end up getting confused in the beginning, and they actually pull the guy on top of them like this. So they pull his body over to here. And then now when you pull him over to here, guys, look, again, he may just turn towards my head if he sees the opportunity. You see? And then now look, he's got me right here. So, or you're in this position, you can hold that leg again. You're in this position and he just rotates back to his knees. And now you're trying to like win from here, but all he has to do is like secure one, pull his arm out, maybe secure my legs with your leg, you know, hook the leg and then pull the arm out. Like all that's gonna lead to bad situations for you. Now there's things you can do, and we'll get into that the more I show you guys about the crotch lift and locking in the crotch. There's way more techniques you can do. But to get you guys to not make the mistakes, I want to just try to give you guys an idea. Every time he shoots and I do this, I always want to throw his body on the same side of his head. I never want his legs on one side of my body and his head on the other side. So what I'm doing is I'm stepping aside, I lock, get your best angles, Eric. And then what I want to do is I want to take him and throw his legs on the same side of his head. So I look back towards his head, and now look where I'm throwing him. I don't throw him this way. I throw him over his head, okay? As I throw him over his head, notice how long or how much I expose my back to the mat. I expose his back to the mat, but I don't expose my back. I'm immediately getting up, and then I'm sprawling. okay, and rotating on that arm, maybe I go into a crucifix, okay? Maybe I go into a crucifix. So it's important you guys don't pull the guy on top of you. And then last but not least, it's important to also understand you can do lifts. I mean, Dave's a little bit bigger than me, but you guys get in here, you make a move and lock the crotch, you can lift the guy. And then throw the guy. And then once I'm here, I'm in the sprawl and come behind. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with lifting the guy up and then chucking him, tossing him. You don't want to waste your energy, but if it leads to a good position, it's worth it. Also, some people say, I won't hold the leg if you lift. And so I'll show you this variation, very important. He goes for high crotch. I get over here and I lock, and I lift the guy, and the guy lets go. Then that's fine. I can throw my hooks in, and then I'm in position, ready to finish. So if lifting up the crotch makes him let go of your leg, that's fine. Go ahead, take his back. And if he hangs on, okay, whoop, I make that move, lift, and he hangs on. Get up, now take his back. Okay? Did I get you in the nuts on that one? No? All right. All right. So guys, try this crotch lift. Don't hurt each other. If you guys can see, it might look really dynamic when I'm lifting and throwing, but it's if you notice how I'm throwing the guy, it's not dangerous. I'm throwing him so he rolls across. He doesn't have a lot, there's not a lot of impact. It looks kind of crazy, but it really isn't. Like, did any of this hurt? No. Okay, none of it hurt, right? So you're just getting out of that sticky situation. Now, obviously, much better off the takedown to do it. But if you guys start to develop this, you'll start to learn all the other techniques of locking in the crotch, how to cut the corner on someone, how to scoop behind them, put them in the truck, how to use that crotch lift to climb on someone's back, or maybe just to exit the position. That way they don't get the takedown on you. So crotch lift's real important. It's a huge staple in freestyle wrestling, and I think it needs to be used more in jiu-jitsu. So thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you, David. And we'll be back tomorrow for more. Subscribe to this channel, like it, share it with your friends, and please click the link down below at PayPal or Patreon and support this channel, and I'll keep bringing you guys awesome content. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go eat. Later.